Thumbnails. They're what make every single Gorilla Tag video unique. Some are really eye-catching, while others are meant to leave you curious. But both these things have something in common. They help encourage someone to click on your video. Now you see, I've made plenty of thumbnails during my time as a Gorilla Tag YouTuber. Yeah, quite a few of them actually. And although they aren't insanely good, I think I have somewhat of an experience. But in this video, I'm gonna be testing my thumbnail making ability by convincing creators that I should make thumbnails for them. But instead of just asking them on my main account, because that would be way too suspicious, I'm gonna make a cover-up profile so they think I'm just a guy who likes to make thumbnails. Well, now that we have our plan down, I need to tell you the secret behind all of this. What the creators don't know is that I'm gonna sneak my way into each thumbnail. And if they question anything like, why is this purple dude in my thumbnail, or is that sourberry, that means the creators get a point. But if they don't think anything suspicious and decide to use it for their video, that means I get a point. And well, what happens if someone gets more points? I'll let you figure that out later. Alright, the first step to this process is to create a name for our undercover account. Now, it can't be too suspicious, but it also can't be super short. After writing down multiple things and retrying for about a solid 20 minutes, I finally thought of Chimp FX. Chimp, which represents my name, and FX, which is just short for effects. Now, I need to make his profile picture, and the easiest way to do this is Blender. So I'm thinking Chimp is gonna be a light blue monkey, and since he's a thumbnail maker, how about he wears the headphones? Now I'm gonna position Chimp almost as if he is pointing towards the camera, and I think that looks pretty decent. So now I'm gonna go ahead and download it. Next, let's go into Photoshop and start making the profile picture. And obviously we can't leave the background blank, so I'm gonna add in this nice wood one. Then let's do a little bit of shading around the monkey, and boom shakalaka, we now have the profile picture complete. And I think it's looking mighty good. Hey yo, but how are we gonna show famous creators the thumbnails? Well, we need to make a website that anyone can go to, because it's an easy way for them to see the thumbnails that Chimp has created. I then hopped on my PC and started making the best site. But here's the interesting thing. After working on the site, I realized I had no pictures to display. And if I used the ones from my main channel, the creators would obviously know that it's fake. So I improvised and searched far and wide through my computer, hoping that maybe I could find something. And finally, I gathered these 3 thumbnails. And since I made these a long time ago, hopefully nobody thinks it's suspicious. I then added more touch-ups to the site to make it look as real as possible. So as you can see, here's the final website, and I think it looks pretty good. But now it's time to send some messages to the creators. But we can't just message anyone, because some people on my friends list are either really good at thumbnails or they just don't want any. After searching through my friends list and analyzing a few YouTube channels, I finally found our 4 targets. First, we got Chazzy, around 10,000 subscribers, and his thumbnails could use some work. Next, we got Kona, around 20,000 subscribers with pretty decent thumbnails, but they could use a little touch-up, if you know what I mean. Then we got Jack Nohan, 200,000 subscribers, and let's just move on to the next one. And finally, our final target, Ryan VR. He has 230,000 subscribers, and you might be wondering, why am I targeting him? And well, that's because he doesn't make his own thumbnails. But I have to be very cautious, because these 4 people know me, and if they question anything, that could take away our chances of winning. I then messaged Shazzy on the fake account, and he seemed to want a thumbnail, so let's start making it. He wanted a long arms thumbnail, so that's what I'm gonna go for. First, I changed the monkey to pink, and then I adjusted the arms so it's like reaching out. Then I decided to place on this screaming face to make it a little bit more energetic. Next, I'm gonna put on his fedora hat cosmetic, and I'm also gonna place on his beach shirt. And for one last thing, I adjusted his right arm to make it look like he's running. Now that we are finished with the monkey, we're gonna download it and place it into Photoshop. The first thing I'm gonna do is duplicate the arm to make it extra long. Alright, now that we have that done, I almost want to add this arm booster kind of thing. After figuring out a good position, I made it look pretty decent. Next, I'm gonna place in this line along with some text to go with it, and I think it looks pretty good. Now we can't forget to add the shadows all around the monkey to make it look a bit more realistic. We also need to add in this nice foresty background to go along with Chazzy. Okay, now let's place in some blur to make it look like he's moving, and of course we need to add some shadows underneath the character. And kaboom! Our first thumbnail is done. But wait, we still need to hide me in the thumbnail. So I downloaded a picture of me, cut out just my face, and then I decided to hide it inside the trees. Alright, I think I'm decently hidden, but not too much, but hopefully he doesn't notice me and we get a point. So without further ado, let's message Shazzy the final result.
Is this good?
Yeah, that's good.
W.
Can you make the text blue and make the arms a little bit more stretched out?
So Chazzy didn't think anything suspicious. He just asked me to make the text blue. So I guess that means I get a point. Let's go. But let's see if that changes because I still have 3 more people to make thumbnails for. He told me he wanted sort of a modding video, so I opened Blender and got right to work. But for this one, I'm gonna go montage mode. First, I put on his Russian hat, and then I changed the monkey color to a nice looking green. I positioned his head and his hands to almost make it look like as if he's holding a mod menu. Well, now that that's done, I downloaded the image and started working on the second monkey. For the other monkey, I changed the position to a curious looking style. Then I changed his color to a bright red. Now that we got both the images done, let's head into Photoshop. I started off by placing in this wood background, and then I placed in Kona. Then I added some shading to make the monkey look a bit more realistic, and began making a mod menu that Kona will hold. After that, I began shading underneath both of the characters, and I think that looks pretty decent. Finally, I did some tweaks to the mod menu to make it look a bit better. But now we need to hide myself inside of the thumbnail. So I decided to place my face in between Kona's arm. I'm a little bit worried because the face is kind of obvious, but let's see if he notices.
Insert image.
Nice, thanks.
Alrighty.
What's that face at the bottom?
Okay, so I guess that means the YouTubers get a point. It's tied up and we still have 2 more to go. Jack know him! Yeah, so he's our next target, and it turns out he wants a hiding spot thumbnail. And I have the perfect way to hide myself in this. You get the joke? Instead of hiding my face in the corner like I usually did, I'm just gonna put my entire monkey in the open. Yeah, maybe this isn't a good idea. First, I placed in his top hat and positioned him to do sort of like a shushing pose. I then changed his face to make it look like he's looking the other direction. Now, since he's looking pretty good, I'm gonna download it and start working on the next one. And this character is the one I'm gonna be hiding as. First, I'm gonna pose the arms to make it look like I'm running. Next, I'm gonna change the monkey color to lava and place on the flower hat to make it look somewhat like me. Now that that's done, I'm also gonna need a tree for the thumbnail. So let's add in these nice Gorilla Tag trees, and then let's take a quick photo of it. Alrighty, now let's put everything together in Photoshop. First, let's place in the tree, adjust it, and add some shadows to it. Next, let's pop in Jack No Ham and our lava monkey right behind it. Now, I'm thinking this thumbnail looks a bit empty, so let's place some Mr. Beast style text at the top. And after a bit of adjustments, our thumbnail is finally complete. So now let's go ahead and message him the thumbnail and see what he says.
I'm finished. Is it good? What's up?
I think everyone should like and subscribe to Sour.
Well, he actually ended up liking the thumbnail, and surprisingly, he didn't question the flower hat that's just sitting on this guy's head. So I guess that means I get another point. Yes, sir. But finally, we are moving on to Ryan VR, one of the biggest creators I'm attempting to trick during this challenge. If he notices me in this thumbnail, it could determine the fate of if I lose or complete my goal. Ryan said the thumbnail was for a finger painter trolling video, and I think I have something in mind. I present to you Ryan's thumbnail that I secretly hid in. I think it looks pretty good, and hopefully he doesn't question that this purple monkey looks like me.
Oh my gosh, no freaking way. No freaking way, he didn't notice.
Let's go, and he actually ended up posting the video. So I guess that means that I don't lose the challenge. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. See ya!